Hey guys, Colgan here with Ace Speeder 2. This is a doujin game, a Japanese indie game made by Raingraph, and as you'd probably expect from the name, it is a racing game. So we have 10 vehicles to choose from here. Each one with different stats, some fast, some slow. The slower it is, the better control it has, the faster it is, the worse the control is. So I'm going to be using the Rowdy B, which is a very balanced vehicle. Now we have 7 courses here, and each course has 5 stages for a total of 35 levels. So I'm going to be doing the first course. Now the controls here are very simple. You just use the arrow keys to move left and right. You hold space to accelerate. You can double tap space to use your boost, but you have to wait for that to charge. Press C to change your camera and V to turn on and off the HUD. That's all there is to the controls, so it's a very simple game, very basic. Really uninspiring, but it is pretty fun. Now there is a demo available of this game which has the first 2 stages of this course I'm doing right now. So you can download it, give it a try, and I would suggest you download it because the game is pretty fun. It's pretty cheap too if you want to buy it. It's about €8, $10, so it's not a very expensive game. There is a standalone expansion pack called Ace Speeder 2 Origin, and that adds the same amount of content that's in this version of the game. So you buy both, you're going to end up with 70 stages and about 20 vehicles. I haven't actually played Origin yet, or I haven't bought it yet. I've played the demo, I've played the first 2 stages, and I have to say the stages in that game, they are far more difficult than stages in this game. I'd say the first 2 stages are probably on par with the last 2 stages in the last course for this one. So the difficulty, they really ramped up the difficulty quite a bit in that. Now there are 3 previous games in the series. There's Overdrive, Ace Speeder 1 and Ace Speeder 1 Remix. All 3 of those games have been made available for free on the developer's site. Now they're kind of really old games. I think Overdrive was made in 97, 98, and Ace Speeder 1 was made in I think 2000. Ace Speeder Remix was made in 2002, so those 3 games, they look pretty horrible, I have to say. But the gameplay, from what I've seen, looks almost identical, so if you don't have the money to buy this, or you don't want to buy it, you can just download one of the original 3 games for free and play those. But I honestly would suggest picking up this. It's a really fun game. It's actually not challenging at all. I find this to be very easy. The worst I've ever come in a race in this, I think, was 3rd place. And that's only because I kept crashing in one stage, and every time I was using my boost I was smacking into the backs of one of the other racers. Now when you finish a course, they rank you between A to F depending on how well you do. I've A ranked every single course except the second last course, because I think during 2 of the races I flew off the track and exploded and died. So unlike a lot of racing games in this, if you fall off the track or anything, you're not going to be teleported back onto the track to continue the race. If you fall off the track, the speed you're going, you blow up and you die, and you have to restart the race from the very beginning. So the level restarts. It's pretty interesting, especially areas like this. And there are like some of those areas where you're gliding through the air, they'll have you turning left and right going at very high speeds. On the track here, sometimes on the left and right hand side of the track, there'll be no walls, so you can just fall off the track and die. It makes it really difficult. And you see there, I boosted into the back of one of my opponents, it just launches them forward and brings you to almost a halt. Which is what's happened to me in one race. It was me and one other guy in first and second place, and right near the finishing line I was trying to use my boost just to take him over and basically just steal first place from him at the last second. I ended up boosting right into the back of him. I pushed him over the finishing line and I finished in third place because I came to a halt and someone overtook me. That really annoyed me, but when I look back on it, it was kind of funny. Something you have to be really careful of, because it can happen quite a lot, especially when you're in a group of a lot of other racers. And they will actually try and swerve in front of you to stop you from overtaking them. Notice that usually only happens when you're up near the top, when you're at all the, I think, top 5 or 6 racers. They try swerve around and block you like that. Now you do have a health bar in this. If you see the top right of the screen, the red and yellow bar, that's your health, and if you crash too much, your ship is going to blow up. I'm assuming that's what happens. It hasn't actually happened to me yet. Now the first few courses here are really easy. You're not going to have any trouble with them, but in all the later ones, the difficulty really ramps up and stages get a lot of fun, or start to become a lot of fun. So that's first place in this race too, providing he doesn't overtake me with a boost. So it'll probably take you about 20 or 30 minutes to beat each course. I think the last 2 courses might take 30 to 40 minutes. As the courses, stages do get longer the further you go in the courses. And a soundtrack, I think there's only 5 songs in the game. Like, the song in stage 1 in every course is going to be the same. The song in stage 2 is going to be the same. This song here in stage 3, it's going to be the exact same in stage 3 of every course. So the music doesn't change. Same 5 songs for every level. And when I'm done with this one, I'll probably upload videos of all of the other courses, but I don't think I'll do commentary on those ones. I'll just upload the gameplay of the courses, since, to be honest, there's really not much you can talk about in this game, and to try and drag out a commentary for, I think, how long would it take to beat all 7 courses? You're looking at, I don't know, 2 to 3 hours, and there's honestly not much you can talk about in a game like this, so to drag out commentary for that long, it's going to be nothing but filler. Just wouldn't be interesting, so I'll upload the gameplay videos of those without any commentary. And if this one actually gets good views, or if all the courses I'm going to be uploading of this game get good views, I'll buy the Ace Speeder 2 Origin, and I'll probably upload videos of all the courses in that game too, because I did enjoy the demo of that game. It was much more difficult than this one. It did add a nice little challenge in, since the only challenge I really had in this game was constantly falling off the track in the later levels. The AI though in Origin, still just as brain dead as they are here. You can overtake them very easily, so your challenge isn't going to be coming from other racers. It's still going to be coming from difficult tracks and you falling off the track or messing up, crashing. Just kind of unfortunate. One thing I would have liked in this game though is some customization options. It would have been nice to be able to at least just, change the colors of your vehicle instead of everything looking the same. Would have been also really nice if they added in, like a vehicle creation. Just give us some preset vehicle parts to choose from, put them together, choose the colors. And based on the way the stats for vehicles are done in this game, I don't think you'd be able to make it, you know, overstated or anything, since the stats just seem to be a slider from left to right, and you adjust it depending on how much speed and grip you want. So you can't go max speed with max grip or anything. And since this is... when I get this one done, I'll probably start uploading Magical Battle Festa. I've been playing it an awful lot, but every time I go to record it, I just get so drawn into the game, killing stuff, that I just forget to start recording it. It's just one of those games that I sit down and play for hours. So there we go, we finished first in stage 3 as well. So I think as long as I can come in the top 10 in stage 4 and 5, I'll have A rank this course. There are a few other Japanese indie games that I've been looking at recently. There's one called Fatal Employee Training. Now, the game is nothing like what you'd expect from the title. It's actually... how would I describe it? It's, think Ace Combat, but anime style. Like that. And that's a sequel to a previous game, but I don't know what the name to the first game in that series was, but the game looks really interesting, and I'll probably at least download the trial to try that out. If it's good, I'll buy it and do some videos on it. This here is where the courses start to get a little tricky, especially in later levels like that, where you have areas like that. You have a lot of sharp left and right turns, and you can easily fly off and die. You don't want to use a boost there or crash into someone. But I suppose if you're going really fast and you crash into someone there, you can actually knock them off the course, which I've had happen once. It's pretty funny just to see him flying off the map really far and smack into a building. Only have one stage to go after this. It's pretty simple, and there doesn't seem to be a way to adjust the difficulty or anything, so if you want to, if you want harder AI to make the game more challenging, you're out of luck. And since Origin is a standalone expansion pack, you don't need to buy this one to play it. You can just buy the Ace Speeder 2 Origin and play that. It won't add all the content from this version of the game though, as it's just content from the expansion on its own. Position 5, last lap. We're going to easily finish first again. There's some other indie games I've been looking at, the Japanese indie games. There are a lot of side-scrolling beat-em-ups that I've been planning to pick up. Some of them look absolutely ridiculous, as you'd expect from Japanese indie games. There's, what's it called? A Princess's Edge. You play the role of a princess running around in a bikini killing stuff. Pretty weird, pretty strange. And a lot of the enemies, they look like palette swaps of the Hulk or something. Something I've been looking at. I don't know if I'll get it or not, but it looks fun, but it also looks really stupid. We're on the last stage now. I kind of find it annoying here. There's no way to skip this end of the screen. You just have to sit back and wait for it to go itself. So you can't just quickly skip through all the lap record, track record, what position you came in. Now, of all the other vehicles in the game, the ones I showed you at the start, I think the last three, they're incredibly fast, but they've got no grip at all, so it's almost impossible to turn sharp corners. Like, you'll overtake everything very quickly, but trying to turn a corner, you're either going to have to stop accelerating completely, almost come to a halt, or you're going to be smacking into everything. And if that happens, you're going to run out of health very quickly. I have tried use them on the first two stages, and they were okay, but on these later levels where you start getting lots of sharp turns, it's really tricky. See, if I smacked into him there, I could have knocked him off the track and taken him out. Although, to be honest, there's really no reason to want to try and do that. Because once you overtake one of the other racers and you're ahead of them for about 5 seconds, they're pretty much gone from the race. There's no chance they'll catch up with you. So I really would not suggest, crashing into people, trying to screw them over. Unless you're just dicking around and you don't really care about trying to win. On 7th now. Try get into 5th before the start of the next lap. That guy I just passed out there, that racer, the SWT, that's the vehicle I was using until I unlocked this one. It's pretty balanced, I think. It's got better grip, but it's a little slower, if I recall. Or I think it might be a little faster, but with worse grip, I'm not sure. But the stats are almost identical. I got into 1st. But 1 lap to go. They're not even going to be near me by the time I get to the end. So if there's any games you want me to do, anything in general, any Japanese indie games or just any game at all, doesn't have to be a specific kind or genre, just let me know and I'll do them. And we're still hoping to get some co-op videos done soon, if we ever get around to it. Maybe that Dungeons and Dragons game that came out recently. We have a lot of 4-player co-op games that we're hoping to do. We also have Wanderlust and Zero Gear and such. Sacred Citadel, a lot of those side-scrolling co-op beat-em-ups. So we're hoping to do a lot of those soon. But then again, we've been saying that to each other for months now and we never actually get around to doing it, unfortunately. So there we go, that's stage 5 complete. We finished 1st in all 5 stages. Set a new record time for the course. Now we should have A-ranked this. But unfortunately you can't skip through these boring credits to get to the ranking. You have to sit through and watch them. Thankfully though, it's not very long. Should be over in about 20 seconds. So as I was saying, if you want me to do any videos, just let me know in the comments or send me a message and tell me what game you want me to do and I'll see if I can do some videos on it. So here comes our ranking. A rank. To be expected. So that's all for this video, and as I said, I'll do all of the other courses in separate videos, but there won't be any commentary on those because there's nothing to comment on in this game. You're just going to be dragging out nonsense and filler for half an hour. It's just too much. So that's all for this video, and if you like the game, there'll be a link in the description to where you can download the demo and buy it. So that's all, and thanks for watching.